bet you've gone out and bought all the right ergonomically designed furniture for your office, maybe even your house. You've got the chair that's been designed correctly for you. You've got the desk that's designed correctly for you. I bet you've even bought a stand-up desk like I have here. You've placed the monitor where it's eye level, just like you were told, and even your TV at home is eye level, just like you were told. Yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see is a person with a hump back. You feel the neck pain that happens in your neck, and maybe even the low back pain when you get up out of bed first thing in the morning. That's got to be frustrating, isn't it? Well, today in this video, I'm going to talk about that why ergonomic furniture is good, but it's not the complete answer. There's more to the story. Welcome back to the Muscle Repair Shop. My name is Butch Phelps. I'm a functional massage therapist, and today we're going to talk about the work you need to do even if you have ergonomic furniture and how to stop those common aches and pains from working in an office. I was recently looking at a video on my future colleague by a company called Fellows, which builds a lot of ergonomic furniture, and they literally put together a mannequin of a woman that suffers from the common things that people get in offices, like red eyes, the head forward posture, the hump back, the low back pain, the ankles are swelling. She was a mess, varicose veins and everything. And so from the company standpoint was that they were obviously selling furniture, which is what they do, but they were showing the importance of how to set up correctly, how to maintain your posture so that you don't become like Emma in your future life. Now, in fairness to Fellows, they again build ergonomic furniture. They're not really into doing what I do. And their furniture is really good, just to be on record. Their furniture is really good, but it's not enough. You can see the video, just go to my colleague, or Fellows, my colleague of the future, and you'll see actually the video on Emma. And I'll put a link down below so that you can get to that. But anyway, let's get back to you as a person. So even though you're sitting in those comfortable chairs and everything you think is alignment, maybe your company you work for has spent thousands of dollars making that happen, you just don't feel any different. And for most people, they don't understand why this happens. So today I want to go through the 4 areas on your body that's going to help you improve and get the best use out of your new ergonomic furniture. So let's start with the neck. The neck, as you notice, as you're working on computers, as you can see me here, as we start to work, when we get tired, we start to lean closer and closer into the screen. Notice how my head starts to come out in front of my chest. This is going to increase the pressure back here. So my head weighs 10 to 12 pounds just sitting on top of my shoulders. But every inch my head goes forward, like in looking at this computer screen, the pressure back here increases by 10 pounds per inch. Now what is happening is that the muscles on the front side of my neck are tightening, okay? So when I try to lift my head up with the muscles on the back side, because they're already fatigued out by just holding the weight of my head, they no longer have the energy and the ability to pull my neck back up to actually cause these muscles to relax and let go. On top of that, when you're sitting and your head is going forward, notice how my shoulders go round in at the same time, which means the muscles on the outside of my chest are starting to tighten as well. And so over time, you start to get this look, this tired look about you. Now I know for a lot of you, you've gone to trainers or PTs and whatever, and they would say to you, we want to strengthen the back, especially the rhomboids between the shoulder blade and the spine, and that way you can pull yourself back up. Well, the reality is that as long as the muscles on this side are tight, pulling your shoulders back and holding them is not going to help a lot, because you'll actually fatigue back here, and the next thing you know, you'll have tired muscles on the back side, which can also become painful. So what I try to do when I'm working and writing my book or writing articles is about for every 30 to 45 minutes, I may stop, take my head, place right on the palms of my hands here, take a moment so I can literally feel the weight of my head, and without using any muscles in my neck, just allow my hands to push my head up towards the ceiling. Now I'm going to breathe out 2 or 3 times, but I'm going to hold that for about 5 seconds as I do that. And so as I come up, I'm going to breathe out, hold for that 5 seconds, and I'm going to repeat that 10 times. We're not trying to force the head all the way up to where full range of motion first time. Understand that you're playing with your brain, and so as you lift your head up like this, the brain is anticipating pain coming in your neck. And so what we want to do is gently pull the head up and allow the brain to see that it's safe, so it can cause these muscles to relax. And when that happens, you'll be able to start holding your head up a little bit straighter. But I would do this throughout your day. It'll take you maybe a minute to do 10 of these at the most. So you can do them sitting at your desk. I've done them sitting in my car at a stoplight. I've done them sitting with my friends and even talking with my friends sometime. So you can do these anytime, anywhere. Now, what we want to do with that is to get that neck to come up even. One of the other things that I always say have people to do is take a tennis ball, put in a sock, throw it over your shoulder, and lean against the wall of the tennis ball. Now don't roll on it, because this is not like Dancing with the Stars. I mean, everybody wants to get into the rolling thing, but keep in mind, we're still playing with the brain. So if I'm rolling back and forth like this, my brain is thinking, where do you want me to let go? I don't know where you want me to let go. Take your time with that. Hit one spot at a time, take a couple of seconds. Is that painful? Move to the next spot. Is that painful? And when you find a painful spot, then you want to press in. You press in just a little bit and stay there, so that the brain knows to go to that spot where the ball is and relax and release that muscle. And you can do that all over your back. In fact, you can do it on your hips as well. But for this purpose now, we're talking about the upper back. The second place that is a problem is the hump back. As people are working, their body starts to hump over, so that when they stand up, they tend to stand more like this, which makes you look old, by the way, okay? So the thing is that you want your body to be able to stand up freely. Well, remember I was talking in the neck that the muscles on the outside of the shoulder here starts to tighten, rounding my shoulders in. Well, as it rounds my shoulders in, obviously, like I said earlier, it pulls the head forward, but it sets off the hump back on your back. And so what we want to do with that is to stretch the chest muscles out on the back, on the chest here, using a doorway. So the way you want to do that is in that doorway, you're going to place your hand behind your head and your elbow on the doorway. And you're going to, in this case, since my right arm is on the doorway, I'm going to use my feet and rotate my body to the right as I'm breathing out. And I want to feel the muscles on the outside of the chest here releasing. And I'm going to hold that for 5 seconds and then repeat that 10 times. I'm also going to do it on the left side. So I'm on the left side over here. I'm going to put my elbow on the doorway, hand behind my head. Now I'm going to rotate my feet to the right, away from my left arm, so that I can feel the stretch here. Now let's be real here. A lot of people say to me, well, I don't really feel anything if they're not pulling really hard. We're not trying to pull the doorway down. You're not going to pull this muscle out, okay? What you're doing is that you're feeling the freedom of the body by allowing the muscle to relax and showing the brain that I can turn my body and this will be fine here. I would do that at least twice a day throughout your day. You can do this on any doorway, the corner of any wall. Doesn't matter where you are. You can just do that. And again, it'll take you like 1 or 2 minutes to be able to do that. The third thing is going to be the low back. Well, at the low back, you see, you're sitting in a chair, and of course I'm sitting in a taller chair right now, but as you're sitting in the chair, the quads or the front of your thighs will get tight, the inner thighs will get tight, and so when I stand up, what happens is that when this is tight, it'll tilt my pelvis forward, setting off low back pain back here. And in fact, 99% of low back pain, when you stand up and you have low back pain, it's going to come from your thighs, not your back. Treating your back makes no sense at all. So if it's in the middle of the low back, that's your inner thighs. If it's on the outside of your low back, that's the quads on the front of your thighs. And so you can do simple exercises with that. And in fact, what you can do is to get down on one knee next to your desk. If you can do it in the office, you have the space to do that. Or you can do it at home next to your bed or a table. The table is to balance you, is all it is. You'll get down on one knee. The torso has to remain straight. And you're going to lunge forward, feeling the stretch on the front of the hip of the knee that is down on the floor. Okay? If you lean forward, you're not stretching anything. So the torso has to be straight as you lean forward into that lunge to take that back out. And that's no matter, even if you're in your car driving for long periods of time, I would always suggest doing this at least once a day. In fact, I do mine typically first thing in the morning when I wake up and the last thing in the evening before I go to bed. And once you do that, now what happens is that the body then can stand up straight without straining the low back. Number 4, the lower legs or the calf area. Now, all the things we've talked about in 1, 2, and 3, the neck with head forward posture, the hump back, the low back pain, trust me when I tell you this, begins in your calves. And when you're doing a calf stretch, what you want to do is, if you can, sit on the floor with your hips and back against the wall and one leg straight out in front of you. And you're going to take a yoga strap or like an 8-foot rope, put around the ball of your foot, and as you're pulling the toes back towards you, breathe out and allow the muscles in the calf to relax. Now there's 4 muscles there, okay? So once you do that one 10 times, you're literally going to roll the whole leg inward so that the toes are pointing inward on that same foot. And you're going to repeat the stretch again, but instead of feeling the stretch behind the knee, it's going to be more to the outside of the calf. Once you're done with that one, the third step of this is to roll the whole leg outward so that the toes are working outward. And with that one, what you're doing is you are actually going to feel it on the inside of the calf as you do the 10 stretches there. But the key here is only hold it for the 5 seconds and breathe out as you pull your toes back. Allow the brain to see that safe and let the muscle relax. And when it does, those muscles will relax and release. If you pull too hard, the brain's going to fight with you. And so what happens after that then is come the next stage, and we'll do that in a different video, is how should a human walk so that we can keep our posture straight. Because the thing is, if your ankles are not bending, if your feet are not bending, the calves will tighten on you. That's going to cause the pelvis to tilt forward. That's going to cause the rib cage to tilt forward. And that rib cage tilting forward is going to actually affect your breathing. You'll have a difficult time in breathing when you're exerting yourself. And most importantly, it's going to cause the head to go forward. And then once you do that, everything is off at that point. And so when we start doing these on a daily basis, it only takes you a few minutes at a time. But the key here is to take your time, understand that when you're stretching, you're just getting the brain to relax and let the muscles release. And when you do that, your body's going to feel so much better. If you like what you've heard, be sure to subscribe down below, ring the bell, and next time, see ya.